this is Maggie, and welcome to another YouTube video. So, the most common type of comments that I get in my videos is usually asking me what kind of art materials that I use. I have made a video on that like a year and a half ago, but you know, maybe by now it's a little outdated. I don't usually change art materials that often, but I think it's outdated. So I thought I would make a new video and hopefully we can all just chill and I can answer all your questions. By the way, if I seem kind of out of breath, we're going through a heat wave and I have to have my window closed so the noises from outside don't come in, but I also need to have my blinds all the way open so I can get the most amount of sun that I can get. That being said, I'm burning up in here, so we're gonna try to be fast about this, okay? So let's just jump right into it. Without further ado, let's get started. So I guess we could start with, you know, the basics, what kind of sketchbook that I use. This is a Talens Art Creation A5 sketchbook. I've been using these for as long as I can remember. I have recently changed to more like cutesy covers, if that makes any sense. For example, you can see that this cover is like a metallic blue and it shines and shimmers, because any sketchbook with like a more special cover from this brand has pure white pages. You can't see them here because I colored everything, but if I open my sketchbook, you can see that these pages are like completely white. They're not like a yellow or an off-color white, they are just like purely white, which is great for me because I love to take pictures of my drawings and post them online. And one of the worst things that I go through is color correcting. So having white pages just does wonders for me. I love it. A great thing about these sketchbooks is that they come with a little bookmarker that you can already use. They have a built-in elastic so you can close your sketchbook. They don't have a pocket, but I usually just like wash up whatever little plastic bag that I have on me and I glue it to the back. For this one, it was like a gummy plastic bag and I washed everything up so there's no sugar inside. And I just glued it back here with like some duct tape. And now I have a little pocket to keep all my stuff, all my stickers. And it's pretty simple, but it's a good sketchbook. You can see what I was drawing yesterday. I was drawing Dragon Ball because I've been really into Dragon Ball lately. I need to draw more of them. I like Cell, he's funny. But yeah, sketchbook, pretty much this one. I have got a lot of comments saying that people, especially Americans, cannot find these special covers like on Amazon and like online shops. I'm sorry. I buy all my art materials locally unless I get gifted some like through the mail. But I buy everything locally, so I can't help much with what is online. But I can assure you there are like regular Talens Art Creation sketchbooks that you can find on Amazon. I'm sure they're like on Walmart and whatever place you guys buy your stuff. I just buy mine on like local small business art stores, and that's where I get all my stuff. That's my sketchbook. Now we're gonna move on to actual art supplies. So if you have watched me draw, you kind of know that I kind of use anything. A lot of people ask me, hey, what pencils do you use? With like graphite pencils? And I've told them many times before, but I don't really have much heart to tell them that I use kind of whatever the fuck. I got this pencil a while ago from a small store. It's a Faber-Castell one. But these two are like little things you can buy at like gift shops. They are not like anything amazing, genuinely. If you really want like an opinion or like a good graphite pencil, I'm having fun with this Faber-Castell one. It's super sharp and sturdy and it makes really good crispy lines. If you want something smoother though, maybe you will want, you know, the basic yellow graphite pencil. These are sold like everywhere. They're pretty good. They're very basic as well. For erasers, it's kind of the same thing. I am a little picky with what kind of erasers I do use because I genuinely do not like them to be too rubbery and stretchy, if that makes any sense. I used to use Maped Mini Technique erasers because they were kind of what I had lying around. But I wasn't a huge fan of them because they smudge very easily. So lately, I have been using this one brand that I found I'm not sure where I found them genuinely, but they are like super dry erasers. They do leave a lot of dust, which is a little boring, but they are really, really good. I've never had anything smudge with these. I'm gonna try to find the brand for all of these and just put them up on screen so you can find them, because again, as you've seen, I've already cut this little paper wrapper a lot so you can have the actual eraser to use. They're very good, very simple. If you are looking for more technical erasers, like stuff for erasing details or to be more precise, you can get like these very simple pen erasers on, I'm sure they're like for sale anywhere. I got this gifted by a friend, so I genuinely have no idea where they got it from, but it's like a very simple like pen eraser inside. It's pretty good. I like using it. But if you have really, really tiny details that you want to fix up, I suggest a Tombow elastomer eraser. These are very, very good. I've been using them for a very long time. They are really good because I do tend to draw really, really small, and sometimes I just want to erase a very, very, very small piece of the sketch that I'm doing. So yeah, these are pretty good as well. Now we're kind of gonna move on to pens. For pens, I am a little bit picky. I do have a little bit of everything. I have fine liners, I have ink pens, I have gel pens, I have ballpoint pens. I like to do line art on my drawings with genuinely anything, but I'm kind of gonna run you through what I use. These were in my last video, and honestly, I have not changed my opinion on them because they are very, very good. This is the Uniball Signo 0.7 black gel pen. Now, weird to do line art with a gel pen? Yeah, maybe. I have never had any issues with these things. They dry super fast, they are super smooth. If I draw over something and then erase the pencil on the back, these will not smudge, they will not fade. I have been buying these like in bulk because I can only find them in one store next to where I live, and I don't trust myself to order them online. I need to, like, I'm halfway through this one and I know I have like 2 more in storage because I just buy them in bulk sometimes. They are really, really good, and if I really want to go hard on like line art, this is the pen that I use. I very rarely use inking pens. Like, I do have a few because I do like to use them very occasionally. Usually if I need to use a ink pen, I just go for Faber-Castell. They're a little annoying, but if I know that I'm just going to be sketching with them and I'm not going to be erasing anything, then these are pretty solid. I do usually go for pretty thick and moldable nibs with these pens. Like, they're usually very thick. This is like a 0.5 and this is like an FM pen. They are very good. They're very juicy. I have tried Sakura pens, genuinely. I have a few here from Figma. I do like them, but I do find that they dry very fast for me. And I do try to, like, I put the caps on. I'm very careful with that kind of stuff. But they do tend to dry very easily, and I'm not a huge fan of them. I have a few gifted by my friend, and I use them occasionally. But if I have to, like, put my money on it, then I usually go for Faber-Castell. For ballpoint pens, it's a simple answer. I just go for Bic. Specifically, Bic Crystal. They have these very, very lovely line of pens where it's a ballpoint pen, but they are like super juicy and they're so good. I love doing line art with ballpoint pens. I just eat this shit up. It's so good. It's a great way to get line confidence if you don't have any. It's just go with like something you would use in school, because then you can kind of just fuck around until you find out what you're into as like an artist. And I think ballpoint pens are really, really good. I actually had like a conversation on my comments section with someone, just lovely gentleman, who was telling me about his favorite ballpoint pens, and we were talking about it for a few minutes, and it was the most lovely thing I've ever had. If you happen to be watching this video, hello. It was really fun to talk about pens. But yeah, I use a lot of Bic Crystal Soft, specifically these, and I love the Crystal Fun Pack. I love these colors. I've been using them all my life since I was a little baby because they just look so cute. They're so good. I love these pens. But I once again kind of need to emphasize that I will genuinely draw with anything. I got this pen from a hotel that I was staying at. I have no idea what brand this is, if it even is like a brand and it's just not some white label ballpoint pen. I made like a whole page with just this pen and like a multicolored color pencil, and it's genuinely one of my favorite pages. This pen is like really smooth on the paper, but the lines are also really crispy and it doesn't bleed a lot, so I can do some very nice cross hatching with it. Just lovely pen. Shame that it was from like a hotel miles and miles away from me, and I will probably never get to have another one because I don't think I will be going there again so soon. I should have gotten like a handful of them. They're very good. I don't really use fine liners anymore since I kind of just, you know, go ham with ballpoint pens, but I do still have the ones that I used to use. These are Staedtler 20 Brilliant Colors Triplus fine liners. They are very nice fine liners. They're very juicy. The tip is very nice as well, very thin. I think these are like 0.3 millimeters. They're very good. I did try to use the Stabilo fine liners. They are they're obviously very famous, they're very iconic, but I did find that they dry very quickly as well, and their tips tend to start splitting very easily. I wasn't a huge fan of them, plus they didn't put a lot of color into the paper. These fixed that for me. I haven't used these in a while, but I probably should. I should use them again. They're so pretty. Now that we're done with pens, we're gonna move on to color pencils. Once again, I kind of draw with whatever I have at hand. If I'm just doing it casually, then I do have a little cup with like a bunch of stray color pencils and graphite pencils that I kind of just find on the floor or my friends give to me, because I genuinely don't take this very seriously. I do like to sketch and draw with whatever I have at my disposal, and one of the things I like doing the most is kind of challenging myself, so having like a very sporadic and limited range of colors to work with has been such a fun experience to work with. I have a bunch of different pencils in here. I have like metallic pencils, I have again multicolored ones. I love having these. They're great for doing like backgrounds and details. I have graphite pencils. I have these more expensive pencils. These are Creta color graphite aquarelle. These came in a pack. They are pretty much to do like actual professional drawing. So we have like a bunch of shades of gray that you can use to do portraits and stuff. These are very good. I got them when I was still in high school as well. I have a bunch of like fluorescent color pencils. There's so much to go through, genuinely. And a lot of these I either found on the floor or I've had since I was a little baby. Now, if we're actually talking about, hey, I need to lock in and color this thing really well, I do have a set of color pencils that I go to. These are my Woomer color pencils. They were sent to me by the brand themselves. And as you can see, I kind of used their little packaging to do the swatching of the color pencils. These are very good. I had a lovely time trying them out for a video a few months ago, maybe a year ago, god. But yes, I had an absolute blast with these. They are so gorgeous. They're super juicy and they set their pigment in the page very well. These pages that I have on my normal sketchbook, they're not super textured, so I'm not expecting them to take color pencil that well, but they actually did very well. I really love how these worked and I had a wonderful time with them. And hey, Woomer, if you are looking for anyone else to sponsor, you could do it. I love your color pencils. I would love to get some more stuff to try out here. That was color pencils. Now we're gonna move on to markers. I have talked about this before. I'm kind of the same thing with markers. I kind of pick up whatever I get from the floor. You saw my pen collection there. But specifically for water-based markers, I do have ones that I really enjoy. I've ranted about this brand forever. I love Giotto. To those who don't know, Giotto is like Europe's version of Crayola. They just do all the kids' art materials that we have here. They are most well known for their markers because they are very good. They're super juicy. They have a bunch of different colors, but they do a lot more. They do watercolors, they do color pencils, they do crayons. It's, again, kind of the same thing as Crayola. And I have been buying these since I was a baby. I love drawing with them. They're super nice, super juicy. Since they are made for children, they are very easy to like wash off your clothes, and they have a very good grip so you can, you know, grab them. And again, they have like a very nice array of colors. You can see you have like a bunch of very different blues and greens. You have these very lovely beige colors as well. They're just super nice. I love these pens. They're so good. I don't usually use watercolor pens. I just don't find them that useful personally, but I did try a few of them a very long time ago, and I do love them to this day. Those are the Ecoline brush pens. They are watercolor pens. They are super nice. I had a blast when I got these. I have been eyeing like bigger packs so I can get like a proper set of them, because at the time I only got this one set that was like black and a few shades of gray, warm and cold. Of course, I think I've used up all of them except these two. That's why they're still like in here, so that I can use them again. But watercolor pens, I usually go for these. They are very good. Now we have come to a part where a lot of people ask me what I use. It's alcohol markers. I love alcohol markers. I'm kind of still in there. I'm happy that Copic doesn't have that stronghold on the market anymore, because I genuinely did not like their pens. But I'm a bit of a sellout. I kind of buy whatever. This is my little personal collection of pens. You can see that there's a bunch of different brands in here. I'm gonna take out a few so we can look at it. These are the 3 brands of pens that I usually get the most. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of Copic. I don't buy them anymore, but I still have a few pens from them. This is the Copic Chiao. This is the R27. It's cadmium red. I do love me a very strong red. These are, you know, your typical alcohol marker. They have a little brush nib and they have a chiseled nib. They're solid. Everyone's said their opinion on the Copic pens, and I'm honestly no different. I think they're good. I also think they're overpriced, and I don't use them a lot because I do like my colors to be super saturated, and a main issue a lot of people have with Copic is that their colors are kind of washed out and gray, so I usually only use Copic if I have to paint like skin tones, where I gotta be a little bit more careful so that things don't come out too saturated, but they're pretty good. I still use them sometimes. Then we have Winsor & Newton. They do also make alcohol markers. They're pretty solid as well. Again, this isn't a brush tip, it's like a felt nib pin. It's very small, and they also have a chiseled nib. I think you can get these with a brush nib. Because I know I have a few of them here. I'm guessing they're from like a different line, and maybe they're like a little more expensive. I'm not sure. But yeah, these are pretty good. These are much more saturated, but they sometimes dry a little darker than what you're expecting. I genuinely think it depends on the paper, because it's been like an on-off issue that I've had with them. But they're still pretty solid, and they're much cheaper than Copic, so it's a good second option if you still want to keep it like professional to an extent. And then there's this brand, which I struggle to find anywhere. It's Graphite. These are Graphite alcohol markers. These have a very big, thick brush nib, and then they have a fine liner nib, which I think is really cool. These are some of my favorite alcohol markers because they are extremely saturated and they bleed a lot, which not the best for some people, but I do like a good pen that is very juicy. I do love me a juicy pen. And these are exactly that. They're like extremely juicy, extremely thick. They're very good. I love graphite pens, but I struggle to find them a lot. But obviously, if you've seen my videos, you know that I have also been sponsored by another brand to try out their alcohol markers, and I had a lovely time. These are my RTX alcohol markers. They are very good. I love them a lot. They're super juicy. They're super thick as well. These have a chiseled nib and a paintbrush nib, much like the other ones, and they're super good. They're also super juicy, and they were very lovely. They also sent me a little swatching paper. As you can see, they have a lot of like very, very strong colors, but they also have some pastel ones if you're into that. A lot of very nice grays, both warm and cold. Very solid line of alcohol markers. I was used to only trying out their acrylic markers, which we will get into in a minute, but these were a very nice surprise. I keep them on my desk all the time because I do genuinely reach out for them a lot. I talked about our RTX, so you know what's coming. Acrylic markers. I do get these sent by me for free as part of like sponsors and stuff like that. My only other experience with acrylic markers were Posca pens, and I did not like them. Maybe I just got like a bad batch, but listen, I did everything that I was supposed to do. I kept them horizontal to the floor, I shook them, I pumped them. It didn't matter, they would always come out super watered down and the pigment would never mix and they would bleed and break a lot and ruin my drawings, and it just genuinely was so upsetting. And then I had these lovely ladies sent directly to my house. I've had multiple acrylic marker sets throughout my time doing videos for RTX. I did give a few of them to my friends because, you know, since I was kind of running out of space to have them, but I still have my 90 pack and I also have a smaller pack in the back, but I'm just gonna settle with these for now. These are very nice. They're super simple. They're super chill. As you can see, they have a very nice array of colors. These are their no pumping, no shaking pens, so you can just open them and directly use them, which lovely. I know this is like a personal opinion, but if I need too much prep to use an art supply, I usually just don't use it because, I don't know, I guess it's like part of being neurodivergent, but it's a little daunting, question mark, to have so much prep to use an art material. That's why you see me use a lot of the things that I have at hand, like on my desk in front of me. These helped me get into acrylic markers a lot because, again, they're like super easy to use and I've been having a blast with them. I use them constantly. They're so nice. There's so many shades. RTX, you want to send me more stuff for me to try out? Ooh. I think for markers, that's pretty much it. But something else a lot of people ask me is what other materials I use for my collages and my mixed media pieces, because that's what I'm mostly known for. So I'm gonna show you. I get asked this a lot and I genuinely don't understand the point of it. It really doesn't matter, but you know, we're here. A lot of people ask me what kind of glue that I use on my sketchbook so that things stick down. I use heyoo. It's the only glue brand that I really trust with my sketchbook because I've had really bad experiences where I've had like glue that's like super watered down and it dries super like slick and slippery and doesn't hold down shit. So this is the only glue that I generally use. It's a little expensive sometimes, especially if you buy like the giant tubes, but I go through them fairly quickly. So personally for me, it is good to invest in like the larger tubes, because if I bought the smaller ones, I genuinely think I would be probably wasting more money. So yeah, giant tube of glue with liquid and a little whatever you guys call these. It's good. I like it, Picasso. I've been using them for years and I have never bothered to change out of it. I'm kind of gonna go through the other things that I have fairly quickly because it's a lot of like very specific stuff, but it's part of my art materials, so you know, might as well show it off. When it comes to watercolors, I usually go pretty cheap, or I have my professional set. I usually go for the cheap ones. These are my Giot watercolors. They're like super dusty and kind of, you know, dollar store watercolors made for children, but I love them. I don't get why people like want their watercolors to be like super smooth. I like the weird fucking texture that they leave. If watercolors don't leave dust on my sketchbook, then I don't know what the point is. These are genuinely really good and I love them. They're made for children, of course, but I find myself reaching for these a lot more than my professional set. So here you have it. Giant children brand watercolors. I love them. And then I have my professional set. I bought these for my later years of high school and for my college. These are Winsor & Newton watercolors. As you can see, I have a bunch of different shades and I Honestly wish I had more, but I honestly think it's kind of silly to want more because I don't really use them. But they're really good. Like, these are like the professional watercolors that people have. You know, I have a little brush with them even here. I should do more watercolors. I generally do miss doing like watercolors. I used to do them all the time when I was in like 10th and 11th grade. I had a little water bottle that I would bring to class, and then I had like these very tiny pots where I put my water, and while the teacher was like doing her class, I was just genuinely doing watercolors on my sketchbook, and it was the best thing ever. I loved it. I did use this set for a very long time. I had a smaller box because I didn't have these many colors, but it was really nice. It was really good. I miss using it a lot, genuinely. My most recent addition to my art material little desk is my oil pastels. I have been dying using crayons because I love crayons. I figured out that recently, and I was like, wait, there's like a more professional version of these, which are oil pastels. I know it's not the same. I get it. Don't stone me to death. But you know, if you like crayons, probably you're gonna want, you know, a more professional version of these. And I remember trying them at college, and they were really, really good. So I got myself a small box. These are like 12 oil pastels. It was like $7.50. Genuinely, this is all you need. They're just silly. They're just little oil pastels from Van Gogh. Really, really good. I love them. I need to use them more. They're still pretty new, but you can see it, they haven't been used. I need to use them more, genuinely. I really like them. But the thing is that they leave a lot of residue, and trying to like protect a drawing with oil pastels is kind of really hard because they don't exactly dry. So you need like a setting spray for these, but also they are so thick that setting sprays don't really do anything. It's a whole issue. I'm still figuring out what I want to do with them so that I can actually draw with them. They're really good. I love oil pastels. Come on, chef's kiss. And I think that is pretty much it. I'm kind of looking around my room, trying to see if there's anything else that I can like show to you as for like what I use in my art, but genuinely I don't think there's much else that I can show you because I just do things that simple. But still, I hope this video kind of helped you with anything. It was also a personal update for myself because I look back at the old video that I made and I'm like, you know, many things are still the same, but I would not use that specific brand anymore. It happens, you know, you grow as an artist, you learn about your materials. But I think that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah, YouTube words. If you want to see some of my art, both past and present, these are the social medias where I'm on right now, but I'm gonna leave my card in the description so you can find me in every social media that I have under the sun. If you would like to maybe, I don't know, I have like OCs, if you're into that, or you just want to like keep up with me in a different kind of way, I have my own website. I host all my OCs and my stories there, heyoo's. I kind of just use it to like catalog my life and what I'm doing. I really like to do web design, and I made this website from the ground up all by myself. So if that interests you, you can go there, link in the description. And if you would like to see sneak peeks at upcoming videos, things that I'm working on, behind the scenes projects, you can join our Discord server. We stream twice a week, every Friday and Saturday. At the time of filming this, Deltarune Chapter 5 comes out tomorrow, and we're gonna have a lovely stream. This is not gonna come out in enough time to tell you about that, but we had a stream, and Maggie from the future, knowing what happens in Chapter 5, is gonna look back at this video, and she's gonna feel really weird, but it's gonna be fun. So yeah, if you wanna like be there for streams and other stuff that we do, link in the description. You can join us there. And that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!